Welcome to week 4 of AP World History. This week we're going to start on Unit 2, which stays in the same time period as Unit 1, but focuses on the development and importance of trade and on trade's impact on culture and the environment. This week we will focus on topics 2.1, 2.3, and 2.4, which are centered around 3 of the major trade networks that existed between 1200 and 1450. These are the Silk Roads, which were primarily land-based, the Indian Ocean Trade Network, which was primarily maritime or sea-based, and the Trans-Saharan caravan routes, which were, of course, land-based. Before we get to your asynchronous work for the week, I want to show you a couple updates I've made to the website. We're going to start on the class information page, which is under classwork in Google Classroom, and then class resources and links. That'll open up this page, which should look familiar to you by now. Up top, there's the What You Need to Turn In and How section, and below that is a weekly overview section that I've added. This should be useful for you not only in terms of looking at what we have done, but also looking at what we will do. So you'll see down here there are tabs for each quarter that show where we'll be at in the AP syllabus each week, all the way from now through the exam in May. Below that, you'll see that I've added images to the must know documents section, as I thought that might make it a little bit easier to use. Please note, if you tried to access the website right after I updated it, there were some folder sharing issues that have been resolved, so you may have had some issues getting into documents at first, but all that should be cleared up by now. If it's not, please do let me know and I can fix it. Below that, you'll see 2 important documents that I want to introduce you to. One is the pacing calendar, but first let's talk about the textbook and unit correlation chart. With all of these, by the way, you can pop them out by just clicking in the corner. This chart shows you how each textbook chapter aligns to the AP topics. And one thing you should notice right away is that while Unit 1 covered basically everything from 13 to 21, Unit 3 only covers 3 chapters. Unit 5 covers 2. Down here, Unit 8 is really almost entirely in this chapter, and then Unit 9 is entirely in that chapter there, 38. So the pace of reading will slow down as we get into the year, but the amount of detail you'll be expected to know will increase as we slow down. This chart would be useful for anyone wanting to read ahead in the book. Now, looking back at the documents, there's also the pacing calendar. And this is really the basis for that spreadsheet I showed you earlier that gives that weekly overview. So while this won't really be too useful in that regard, you may find it useful to see things like quiz days, but most importantly now will be these new weekend sessions, which you're going to learn more about this week in class. So you may want to look here to see when we're going to have weekend sessions. The Unit 2 page is now live, and like the Unit 1 page, has many resources that you should review if you have the time. This week's asynchronous work can be found up toward the top right here. Let's click on week 4 and see what you need to do this week. The first thing you should do is watch our weekly class video, and that will be true every week. This will be posted tomorrow and will be shown right here once it exists. I'm making it right now. Then you should review these documents, which give you an overview of the topics we're exploring this week, and also a review of the AP World Regions, which you'll want to know by May. Then you should watch one of the Unit 2 overview videos that I've posted. I've tried to give you some choice here, so you're not just always hearing the same voices, and can have more or less detail as you would like. Then you should review all of the slides for this week. I'm having everyone review the slides because the rest of the work is a bit easier, and you'll see what I mean here in just one second, and also because these slides are shorter than they were in previous weeks. The videos track is here and includes the AP Daily videos, which give great overviews of each topic, and then some deep dives into specific topics that you should know more about that I've selected here. You'll notice that in the textbook, all chapters that are assigned were also assigned in Unit 1, so you probably already have some notes on these and should all at least have Chapter 13. So that's part of my thinking behind having the slides be duplicated. If you did read those textbook chapters already, you may want to review them, but it's probably more worthwhile to go ahead and watch some of these videos here up above. Everyone should complete these 2 activities in AP Classroom this week, And you'll notice that you don't need to turn in notes this week, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't take notes. As I said before, you should take notes every week. We'll start on day 1 this week with a discussion activity that will be centered around the information that's on the screen right next to me right now. So if you're just listening along, you may want to pause the video and read what's on the screen. We'll then have a Kahoot review of key concepts from Unit 1 before moving into an activity that will help introduce you to the short answer question, or SAQ, from the AP test. On day 2, we'll start with a quiz that will help assess our learning of Unit 1. After the quiz, we'll complete a peer grading activity that will deepen our understanding of the SAQ and this week's part of Unit 2. Please make sure you're completing the assigned asynchronous work in AP Classroom. As of right now, only about this many of you have completed the assigned work from last week. Remember, these are the same people that make the AP test, so any of the content you see on there is guaranteed to be relevant. As always, if you need anything, please let me know, and I'll see you soon.